What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression Series Reloaded. On today's episode, we're opening two really insane sets. Phantom of Darkness and Light of Destruction are up for grabs this week, and both sets have really insane support for Darks, obviously, and, well, for Lights. Dark Arm Dragon and Judgment Dragon, both being insanely powerful cards of this age of Yu-Gi-Oh! And even today, I would argue they are some really insane cards. For those of you who don't know, Dark Arm Dragon is a boss monster that once you have exactly 3 Darks in your grave, you can special summon them from the hand, and on priority, because priority is still a thing, you can banish a Dark from your grave to pop any card on the field. And of course, if you had 3 Darks, then that means you're popping 3 cards on the field, because yeah, it's not once per turn. Not only that, if you had multiple Dark Arms, you could essentially summon them all from your hand if you had 3 in your grave. So this card set up a lot of OTKs and just some really crazy Dark-based decks at this time. Judgment Dragon is a level 8 light dragon monster that revolves around the Lightsworn archetype. In case you don't know, the Lightsworn's basically a deck that revolves around milling your deck and filling the graveyard with all the different Lightsworn names. This is important because the boss monster Judgment Dragon requires you to have 4 Lightsworns with 4 different names in your grave. So, similar to Dark Arm, if you have that requirement met, you could special it from the hand for free, and if you had multiples, again, you could special summon multiples. The only thing about Judgment Dragon is you don't banish the Lightsworns to pop cards, you just pay 1,000 life points and nuke the whole field besides itself. It's a 3k beater, it's a board wipe. If you have multiples in your hand, you can OTK out of nowhere. The card's really insane. Now, this week, both of those cards are secret rare, so the odds of pulling them is pretty low, but I know Ricardo and I are both definitely hoping to bag at least one of them. But for me, if I don't, I'm not afraid of falling back on GBs, especially because there is some more support in these next couple sets. So if we get some of that at least, maybe I'd be okay with it. All in all, there is so many amazing cards this week. Allure of Darkness, Armageddon Knight, the Lightsworn archetype with Raiko, Lila. There are so many good cards this week, even in the low rarity like Lone Fire and Super Poly. I'm just so excited to start opening these sets. But first, we have to go spin a wheel. I got the winner's wheel. Of course, GBs are just too good. And then Ricardo's got the loser's wheel to spin. But first, as always, guys, please go grab yourself a cup of coffee or something. That way you guys can sit down and tune in. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, we're here at the winner's wheel. Tactical Evolution is first. I can't remember off the top of my head if there's anything I'm like dying to get, but we'll spin the wheel, see what happens, and go from there. All right, super rare. That's actually not bad. Off of the top of my head, I do remember Necrogarna and Zombie Master are super rare, so I definitely think those are on my list. I don't know if I really have the zombie pool to use Zombie Master, which, you know, it's kind of unfortunate. So Necrogarna is definitely very tempting, especially since Lightsworn is like one of the main archetypes of this sets this week. So, man, this is really tough. I really don't know what to grab. You know what? As much as I want the Zombie Master because of how much I love it, I'm just going to get the Necrogarna. Again, I just think maybe it'll come up if I go the Lightsworn route. And the zombies, I don't know. I think I'd need a structure deck or something of that nature to really make it to where I can play that deck. And I'm pretty sure these modern zombie decks might come with Zombie Master. But again, I'd have to get hat-tricked, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. Not with these awesome GBs and potentially Dark Arm Dragon or Lightsworns. So we'll go ahead with Necrogarna. Hopefully I don't regret this, but yeah, I think it's a super solid card. After that, we got the Gladiator's Assault. Let's see how well we do on this one. There's a lot of really good things in it, but I'm definitely hoping for the secret rare. That is so awesome. Okay, secret rare, I already know what I'm going to get. We're grabbing the one Herc, the Gladiator Beast boss monster for the extra deck. I missed out on it last week, so yeah, you better believe I'm definitely grabbing it this week. Welcome to the team, Herc. GBs, well, they're too strong.
Unfortunately, I fucked up and messed up my video files this week again, so instead I'll just have to go over them like I did, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago. Anyways, we pulled Dad, so that was really good. The highlight of the set, got a Gigaplant and some regenerating, which is great. And honestly, not much else from this set. I mean, I did pull Dad, but you know, the plants are nice, but ultimately I pulled Dad and 2 allures, so I think I did as good as I could, but unfortunately, 0 Lone Fires, which is a big problem going forward. The Lightsworn pulls on their hand were amazing. We got a really nice core. I think the only card that I'm really missing here is Celestia, and Lila. Lila, however, is a pretty big hit because it's a great card that I would have loved to have.
All right, guys, 24 packs of Phantom of Darkness. Really, obviously, I'm hoping for Dark Arm Dragon. The card just defines the meta. If not, there is some GB support through these next two sets, so I know I should at least get the common Darius, but I don't know. If I don't open well, then I'll fall back on GBs this week. First pack, let's see what we get. All right, we got a Darius in the very first pack. That's awesome. So what he does is when he's tagged into, I can special summon a GB from my graveyard. I don't have Prisma, so it's not like this effect is going to resolve super frequently, but this is definitely how we could set up potential Gazirus plays if we pull that next set. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Worst case, it sets up other contacts with the new Herc we got. And of course, like recurring any of the GBs that I might have lost, like Laquari, that I only have one of. Ooh, okay, this is a cool rare, super poly. Definitely would like to get a couple of these. No way, we got a Lure of Darkness. That's crazy. Oh man, okay. I don't want to get too excited because again, I really don't have any of the dark support, but just in general, this is an amazing draw card for any dark deck, so I'm sure we'll play it at one time or another. All right, speaking of dark support, here we go. There's a third Darius, but Armageddon Knight, just on normal or special summon, he can dump a dark. Super simple. We don't have like malicious or anything, but if we get Plague in a couple episodes, that'd be really cool. And of course, like in the future, there's just going to be so many good dark targets for us to dump. Oh, another card there is Gladiator Proving Ground. That's basically a Rhoda for the deck. So it's definitely a cool card to add to the deck for sure. Next pack. Ooh, okay, yes. Lone Fire Blossom as a rare. Hopefully I can get a playset of this. I'm glad I have the one. Plants are probably one of my favorite engines, so definitely glad to add this to the collection. Maybe we get lucky in the future, get a Spore, maybe a Glow Bulb. We're not going to have access to Dandy, but still. Hey, second Super Poly. That's awesome. Oh, that's a pretty good secret rare. Goblin Zombie. Would have much rather had Dark Arm Dragon, obviously, especially since I don't really have an amazing zombie lineup. Ricardo would definitely benefit from pulling one of these. Again, I missed out on Zombie Master, so not only am I missing that and Spirit Reaper, I don't even know if I have Pyramid Turtle. It's really unfortunate because I love zombies so much, but yeah, this is definitely a cool card, but I don't know if I'll ever use it. Ooh, that's a good super rare here. Basically, this is like a Call the Haunted for dark monsters, but instead of the grave, it brings it from the Banish Zone. So I have a Lure. If we get lucky and hit Dark Arm Dragon, there could be some pretty cool ways to abuse this. All right, second Lone Fire. Super awesome. All right, last pack. Here's really hoping for Dark Arm Dragon. My fingers are crossed. No. All in all, this was a really, really good opening, minus no Dark Arm, but just looking it all over, I really can't see anything that I'm really missing. And so now that I don't have a Dark Arm, I actually have my fingers crossed to get a Gazirus next set. That way, GB actually might be a pretty decent thing to fall back on.
Probably the most unfortunate thing here is just the lack of Lila. You know, we didn't pull a JD, but that was unexpected. I did get a couple summon limits, which are really good side deck options. But really, what hurts here is the lack of Lila. Honestly, it was a pretty interesting week pull-wise. You know, Dad is the big one. Really nice, solid Lightsworn core. Knight solid Lightsworn core. Overall, a pretty good week, but, you know, just could have been a little bit better. Either way, it's going to be fun, so it's time to build.
All right, guys. Well, last opening was really good. No Dark Arm, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. No pun intended. But Gazirus is a super rare in this set. We got the Darius. GBs were really good last week, so maybe we can grow upon it and get a better build. We already have the Herc as well, so I'm just horrified Ricardo's going to bring some kind of Dark Arm Turbo deck, and GBs are probably my best bet to compete with it. So here's hoping I can get lucky. Gazirus, I hope you show up. No, nothing on the first pack. Second pack. Ooh, okay. Subsitote, super band, super awesome. All right, more Lightsworn support. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Whoa. Secret Rare Honest. That's pretty crazy. If my Lightsworn lineup is pretty good, it'd be cool to play, but I would also need Judgment Dragon, which is another secret rare, and I don't know, I feel like that deck is so high rarity that it's just really not possible. So, I mean, I'll definitely take this Honest. It's very cool, and there's a summon limit, so that's pretty cool too. Ooh, yes. Okay, there's Gazirus. So in case you don't know what he does, is you can contact fuse into him using Bestiary and any other GB, and he basically has the same effect as any other GB, where when it battles it can tag out, so it'll go back to the extra deck and bring out 2 GBs from the main deck. But the main reason the card is so good is on summon it can pop 2 cards on the field, so definitely an amazing card for the deck. Super awesome. No way, a second Gazirus. That's insane. Like I just mentioned earlier, this is like the bread and butter play of the deck. We don't have Prisma, so again, we can't set it up super easily, but we got the Darius, we have like Charity, and even Painful Choice can help me get stuff in the grave. I don't know, this is looking really good. Even if Ricardo pulls Dark Arm, I feel like GB, yeah, it's a really good deck, man, and it's only getting better. This is awesome. More Lightsworn support. There's the wolf, the brick of the deck, but hey, you know, who knows? Maybe we need this in the future for something, but yeah, super awesome. There's a Raikou. That one's really good. That one's just like a generic pop any card on the field on flip summon, and then you get to mill 3 cards, so that's definitely gonna have a spot in the deck, at least at some time during the series. That card's amazing. All right, last pack, and no, nothing. That's unfortunate. All right, all in all, these openings were pretty dang good. We got a playset, a summon limit. We got an Honest, double Gazirus, which is ridiculous. We're for sure playing GB this week. I really think if Ricardo pulled a Dark Arm, that's probably the only deck that's going to be able to compete with it. Plus, Ricardo's GB pull wasn't that bad. So, all in all, I mean, if he really wanted to go that route, he definitely could. So I have to respect that. Honest, obviously, really amazing card. Super glad I pulled that. Definitely going to add it to the collection. Who knows when we'll use it. Highlight, for sure, double Gazirus. It's so amazing. I'm so glad that I pulled it. And I can't wait to bring a very powerful version of Gladiator Beast. No Prisma, but that's all right.
So the deck this week is a mixture of both Lightsworn and the Chaos we've been using for the past however long it's been now. Ultimately, I felt like Dad needed to be in the deck, and Lightsworns are just such a great way to fill the grave that, you know, I had to go with them. Of course, I do run the risk of milling a card on accident and going over the Dad limit, but, you know, it's a risk I'm willing to take because that's just how good Dad is. If I happen to mill a couple extra darks, then of course BLS is there to help me thin out that grave a little bit. So once again, BLS returns. He's my boss monster, my go-to guy here. Can't go wrong with BLS, especially with the Lightsworns filling the grave with darks and lights for me to abuse. Next up, making the long-anticipated debut, it is Dad himself. This card is insane. I'm so happy that we pulled this. This is one of the best cards in the game, and to add to the deck, just, man, what a threat. Chaos Sorcerer makes a return to the deck as well because, you know, now I'm playing more darks. That was kind of an issue I was having in previous weeks where it was either not enough lights or not enough darks to justify 2 Chaos Monsters. But, you know, now that I'm playing Dad and Lightsworns, Chaos Sorcerer is an easy fit into the deck. Double Cyber Dragons because the effect is still insane. They just be able to special summon a high attack level 5 monster. And of course a light attribute. DD Warrior Lady and Breaker, Witch of the Black Forest all make their returns. However, they're joined by a completely new lineup of level 4 monsters in Jane and Gareth. We're not playing the Wolf just because I don't feel like I have enough reliable Lightsworns to really do that. If I had a Charge of the Light Brigade or a Card Trooper, I'd probably put in the Wolf, but with just the Lightsworns that we have, I don't think it's enough to justify the Wolf. But Jane and Gareth are both more than enough, and of course, they are searchable via Rhoda. Next up, we got double Lumina. I believe she goes to 1 pretty soon, so I'm going to abuse the 2 while I can. Unfortunately, you know, we don't really have anything I can abuse this with in terms of Exceeds or Tuners, but, you know, that's coming up very shortly. Sandgain and Spirit Reaper return once again. We now have 2 Raikous into the deck. Of course, I do have Maneater Bug. I have Old Vindictive. What makes Raikou so special is that he fills the grave. You know, it's a card that at this moment can't be responded to in the damage step. It's a card that helps thin out the deck. A light monster, Raiko's just an amazing card overall. Mystic Swordsman level 2 returns to get over anything that Justin might have in face down position. Specifically, if he pulls any Raikos, I want Mystic Swordsman here to make sure that I don't have to worry about those. 2 DD Crows because it's a dark monster that I can send to the grave at any time I want, meaning that I can either A, buff Dad, or B, disrupt Justin's strategy, or C, all of the above. Magician of Faith because my spells are pretty important, and well, the Lightsworns are pretty notorious for destroying pretty much everything in the deck. The spell lineup is pretty similar, but now we're adding 2 Lords of Darkness because we do run a ton of dark monsters, and of course by banishing them, they don't really fit into Dad's 3 monster limit, so we might need to banish, or we might have to just pay that unfortunate cost. Double Rhoda because my warrior lineup is pretty insane still. Reborn and Premature to bring back whatever the Lightsworns accidentally mill. Monster Reincarnation, bring back BLS and Dad in case I accidentally mill them. Raigeki, Heavy, and MST are my monster and back row hate. My Nobleman of Crossout returns because once again I'm afraid of Raiko. Pot of Avarice because I'm going to be milling a ton of monsters and I need a way to get them back into the deck in case I accidentally fuck up and lose basically. Double Solums and Call the Haunted. Double Solums once again, they've been proven to get the work done. Call of the Haunted, much like Monster Reborn Premature, is here in case I accidentally mill something I need. As for my side deck option, we got 2 Royal Decrees because I don't know what Justin's going to be playing, but if it's trap heavy, I need the trap bait, which is why Jinzo is also on the side. Double Raigeki Break in case I need to pop some monsters. Banisher of the Radiance in case Justin's on something that is easily destroyed by banishing. However, of course, I do run the risk of banishing a lot of my own deck because of Lightsworns, which is why we're also signing in Grand Majus, because if I banish everything with Lightsworns, the Grand Majus are here to capitalize off that attack buff. Double Macrocosmos, pretty similar to the Banish of the Radiance, just in case I need to banish Justin's monsters to keep his strategy moving forward. And of course, if Justin is on Lightsworns, then these 2 pretty much guarantee me the game. Next up, we got Double Shadow Imprisoning in case Justin has Dad, and Double Light Imprisoning in case Justin's on Lightsworn. Next up, we got the usual extra deck, but of course, no way to get into them. I've been looking forward to this duel for a while, so I'm hoping it's a good one. I gotta deliver. I got Dad and Lightsworn, so let's get into it.
Alright guys, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to definitely play GB this week. We opened some amazing cards for the deck. Last week, the deck really overperformed. I didn't think it'd be that great, but turns out if you have a deck that has very good synergy, then, well, it beats most of what we've been playing with recently. Unfortunately, I did not pull a Dark Arm, but that's okay. We got really lucky with the GB pulls this week, and I might even be happier with this than I would with Dark Arm. Since a lot of the good cards for Dark Arm are either high rarity or stuff that I missed in other sets, I don't know if I would have really been able to abuse Dad the way I would have hoped to have, but I don't know how well Ricardo pulled this week, but I do know if he pulled a Dark Arm, then I'm pretty sure he's going to find a way to play it. If he didn't, I could definitely see him taking a similar route as me. His GB pulls, like I mentioned earlier, are, well, pretty good. He was missing Murmello, though. That's pretty important. The main reason this deck is so much more powerful this week is the fact that we pulled double Gladiator Beast Gazirus. Like I mentioned earlier, Gazirus you can contact fuse with any GB monster and Bestiary, which of course we're playing 3 of. On fusion summon, it can pop any 2 cards on the field, which is insane. And after it battles, it tags out like any other GB, except for we get to special summon 2 from the deck. There's a bunch of different ways we can get this combo off. We don't have Prisma, so it's not something we can do like first turn, but there's definitely some ways we can get to it fairly effectively. I'm going to run through the deck really quick because I pretty much explained what these cards do last episode, but I'll explain the changes along the way. First off, of course, 3 Gladiator Beast Bestiary, just the best one in the deck. On special, you pop a back row, so that's super amazing. This card's gonna go to 1, I believe, next episode, so it's gonna be a lot harder to be able to contact fuse into Gazirus, which is the main reason they put this card at 1. After that, we have the 1 Luquari, that's all we pulled. 1 Darius, I was gonna play 2, but it was that or the Hoplomys, and in the end, I just decided to play the Hoplomys. It's a 21 defender. It's not that great, especially once he knows I'm on GBs. He's probably not going to swing blindly into one of my set monsters. Even though I do have Sangan and Witch here, he still probably won't risk it. Darius is awesome because he's a 17 beater, so it's the second biggest in the deck. And then, of course, on special, you can special summon any GB from your graveyard. So, essentially, if Bestiary is in my grave, I can special summon Darius after the battle phase, use the effect of special Bestiary. The effect's negated, but that's fine. We'll contact fuse into Gazirus, pop 2 cards, and yeah, we're looking pretty good. After that, we have the 1 Murmello. Obviously, popping monsters is really good. The 1 Secutor, this is actually a really cool way you can set up Gazirus very easily. Again, it's a little hard to set him up, but if we have access to Test Tiger, it just makes it super easy, which is why we're playing Sangan and Witch. It basically searches the whole deck. We already talked about the Tiger, the Sangan, and the Witch, obviously just really good. And of course, this week, again, double Cyber Dragon. I believe next week, Cyber Dragon goes to 1 for us, so it's going to be a little sad, but eventually we will be able to play this card back at 2 whenever it comes off the ban list again. Onto the spells, a new one we're playing is Proving Ground. Again, this is the Rota for the deck. I don't play 3 of it because, again, you're not really trying to see a bunch of GBs in your hand. But this is still pretty good because, again, we only have 1-ofs of most of these. So this essentially can help me get to Laquari, which is my best one to attack with. 3 Upstart Goblin for consistency, Graceful Charity, obviously for more consistency. And also it puts Bestiary in the grave to set up the Darius plays. Painful Choice, really amazing card. Obviously, gets all these power cards, deck thins by 5, whatever you need. But since we have double Proving Ground in the deck, we can essentially reveal both of them alongside double Bestiary and any power card like Raigeki, Heavy Storm. And more times than not, I'm pretty sure Ricardo's just going to give us one of the Bestiaries. So in the end, you'll lose a power card, but you'll have Bestiary in the grave and you'll have a Bestiary in hand. So if you can get that Bestiary through for battle, then, well, you can tag it out, bring out the Darius. Darius will bring out the one you just dumped to the grave, and contact fuse Gazirus pop 2. Super amazing. After that, just a bunch of staple stuff. Raigeki Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Trunade, just all the board wipes. Snatch, Steal, and Change of Heart, stealing cards again. Unless he's on GBs, this may or may not be that relevant. But again, just getting big things out of my way so I can attack with the GBs is super good. Econ changes battle positions as well, so it could be defensive and offensive. 3 My Body Has a Shield again. The card was really good last episode, and I know it's going to be pretty good this episode as well, whether it's stopping Dark Arm or Bottomless Trap Hole. I have a feeling Ricardo is going to be a lot more prepared for GB, so he might be playing stuff like Bottomless or even Smashing Grounds or Fissure to try to get my monsters off the field, plus all the other destruction cards that he's already been playing like Exile Force, Mirror Force. Raigeki Dark Hole, this card has a lot of application, and at the end of the day, I'm just trying to protect my GBs as much as I can. After that, we have double Book of Moon. This is at 2 again, and we got one off of our starter deck, so that's super awesome. We have this. Monster Reborn and Premature Burial, just really good cards, especially, like I said, this deck is very normal summon reliant. You saw it last episode, abusing Test Tiger with it. Very crazy. And I had to cut the trap lineup down, but mainly because I'm afraid of Dark Arm. 1 Judgment, Torrential, Ring, 1 Sakuretsu. I'd like to play more, but again, Dark Arm is very scary. And double Wabaku, just again, another card that can help all my GB monsters resolve if he attacks them. And worst case, if he does have Dark Arm or Heavy Storm or whatever, it's chainable. So this card hopefully puts in some pretty good work. When going to the side, again, I just really had to consider what I expect this week. I don't think Ricardo's going to bring a Warrior Toolbox deck unless it's kind of like the decks he brought before where it's more chaos and who knows, maybe he pulled like a Dark Arm that he can splash in there. But if it's not that, then I would expect something either very Dark Arm centric or GBs. Again, his Gladiator Beast pulls are almost as good as mine. He has way more Laquari than me, but he didn't have a Murmello. So maybe if he hit one on the wheel, or maybe he just doesn't mind, and maybe he pulled just as good as I did with the Gaziruses. And who knows, maybe we'll be having a GB mirror this week. First, Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Master, just an 18 defender that whenever it's attacked, at the end of damage step, you take the monster and you put it on the top of your opponent's deck. This is actually really, really good against GBs because, well, the GBs activate at the end of battle phase. So if Ricardo swings at this with any of the GBs, again, Laquari is 1800, so it'll knock and then it'll get put on the top of the deck and it sets him back a whole turn. After that, we have 1 Smashing Ground and 1 Fissure. I definitely messed up last week. It didn't come up, but I didn't know Smashing Ground was at 1 and Fissure was at 1. And in addition, Trap Dust Shoot was also at 1. And I played 3 Smashing, 3 Trap Dust Shoot. Again, it didn't come up at all last episode, so it really doesn't matter. But when I looked at the ban list, I kind of laughed to just see that Smashing and Fisher were at 1. It's really funny to think about. Who knows if it'll come up or not, but we have the 1 Smashing, 1 Fisher. Again, just for any skill drain deck or the mirror match. Getting monsters off the board, very important. 1 Brain Control. This is only coming in if Ricardo is playing the mirror. Being able to take his Bestiary, or maybe have my own Bestiary and take any of his GBs to make Gazirus could be really crazy. MST, Dust Tornado, just good back row removal. Double Threatening Roar, this is really good in the mirror, and again, if he's on some kind of Dark Arm Turbo, buying myself another turn to play the game is always a very important thing. Double Light Mirror and triple Shadow Mirror. I have 3 Light Mirror, but I figured the odds of Ricardo playing Lightsworn this week is very low. All the cards are super high rarity, so it's just really not likely, but I still wanted to respect the deck in some form, so double mirror instead of 3. 3 Shadow Mirror is definitely one that would be, in my opinion, a lot more likely, so that's why I went with 3 of Shadow and only 2 of the Light. On to the extra deck, double Gazirus, obviously, just the powerhouse. The new Herc, that's super awesome as well. I don't know if we'll be able to summon it or not. Again, our deck isn't that crazy fast, but it's still an amazing card if we can. And then a bunch of good stuff, again, just stuff for like Cyberstein, Magical Scientist, you name it. There's just a bunch of different targets that we could bring out. We'll see what happens, but I have faith in my GBs this week, no matter what he pulled, unless, you know, he's a god and pulled insane. But I'm super excited for this episode. Either way, it's time to hit up Ricardo. It's time to get your game on. Yo, what's up, Ricardo? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling really excited. Man, these sets were nice to open.
Super nostalgic too, right?
Yeah.
I know, like this week, just fanning through the cards as I was looking through the collection, I realized how much stuff really is at high rarity and how much is at low rarity, and it was really hard to juggle when deck building this week what I thought you might bring, because really it all comes down to how well you pulled. Because if you pulled like insanely high rarity cards, you could be bringing Lightsworn, Dark Arm Turbo, or if you didn't pull anything, there's also Plants. GBs is an option. Chaos is always a viable deck. There's just so many different things this week, and yeah, I'm super curious to see where it goes. And this is just the beginning, because this is the end of the GX era, and next week is Synchros. So I definitely think this episode is going to set the pace going into the Synchro 5Ds era.
Yeah, I mean, opening these packs, man, I just felt like it was setting the stage for next week and everything afterwards. But man, I'm excited for this episode.
Yeah, me too, man. It's just like IOC, like when all these iconic cards come into play, and not only are you excited to get your own cards, but you're almost nervous to see exactly what your opponent got a hold of. So, I don't know. I'm just ready to get into this, especially because, well, I know the winner's wheel next week is very valuable, because obviously you have a better odds of hitting any of those high rarity cards from these last 2 sets. It could be a really big deal.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's a couple missing pieces of the puzzle, and that wheel's real tempting.
That kind of makes me nervous. All right, let's do this, man.
Yeah.
Game 1. Hopefully this is as epic as I think it's going to be.
Here we go.
All right, come on, bro. You can't get... Oh, come on. You can't bring the drive.
I still believe.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Oh. I thought you wouldn't give up on it. Oh, good luck, man.
Yeah, I gotta take first here. All right. Not bad. Opening draw. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and set 1 monster, set 1 back row, and I'll pass.
All right, starting turn. Okay, standby phase. You got anything for me?
Now you're good.
All right, main phase 1.
Yep.
This hand's a little awkward. Hopefully it gets better. First, we'll go Upstart Goblin, draw 1. Next, we'll go Upstart Goblin, draw 1.
Oh.
Really, I don't have that much going for me this first turn, which is unfortunate. So I think I'll copy you and set a monster. But instead of setting one back row, I think this time I'm going to set... I guess I'm going to set 4.
Oh, okay.
My hand's a little weird.
Draw. All right. I don't feel like I have anything to fear right now, so I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Sangan.
The floater beat, man. It's always good.
And then I'll flip summon Witch of the Black Forest.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And let's just go for it. I'll have I'll have Witch attack first. That extra 100 makes a difference.
That's true. You never know what it is, especially when you attack into a Hoplomys.
So that is 1,000.
That's 1,000. And once you end that battle phase, well, you already know what's happening.
Yeah, unfortunate, but I'll have to end the battle phase.
All right, Hoplomys activates. I'm going to go back to the deck, and in this case, I'm going to special summon a Bestiary to the field and activate its effect to pop your back row.
Oh, that's unfortunate for me. Fuck. I was really hoping to hold on to that.
That would have been good with the Searchers, too.
I'm just going to go ahead and pass turn.
All right, starting turn. Well, even though these GBs are going to be pretty nice to get their effects off right now, you're basically going to be able to search whatever you want, which is kind of scary. So I think all I'm going to do is run out my Searcher, Witch of the Black Forest. I'm going to go to battle, and we're going to go Bestiary over Witch.
So that's going to be 400. Well, I'm glad you did that, because Witch now allows me to search for, well, a monster that I never really realized Witch could search for until now.
Oh, no.
Dark Arm Dragon.
That's horrifying. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about it, and I was really hoping to hit Dark Arm because I have 2 Mystic Tomatoes now. So essentially, I could go Tomato Crash for a Tomato, and then Tomato will crash for Witch. Yeah. Witch can crash for Dark Arm, and that's 3 Darks. Yeah, Witch of the Black Forest. Yeah, definitely wasn't legal this time. So it's pretty crazy to see that we can get Dark Arm off of it. Man, okay, what is that? That's 1 dark. Okay, yeah. Gotta respect that card 100%. All right, well, let's put you at 2 darks. Which is gonna attack Sangan?
All right, nice 100. All right, and Sangan is gonna go ahead and grab. It's a good card to grab here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab well, something that's familiar to the both of us, Raikou.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to end the battle phase and use the Bestiary effect. I'll shuffle them back in the deck. And in this case, I think what I'm going to do is a special summon Laquari from the deck, activating the effect to increase his attack by 300, putting him at 21. And after that, I think I'm going to pass the turn.
All right. Here we go. Draw. All right. Alright, so I'm going to start off by special summoning Cyber Dragon.
Ooh, enjoy it while you can. This card goes to 1 next week.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but... And then I'm going to go ahead and go to battle. And I'm going to go ahead and risk it and have Cyber Dragon crash against Laquari.
Crash, huh? I think I'm going to have to activate Sakuretsu Armor to protect my GB.
Alright, main phase 2. I'm going to go ahead and set 1 and pass.
Alright, starting turn. Well, this could either be a really good thing or a really bad thing. Well, I'm going to attack this Raikou, and I already know you're going to want to pop the GB, so I can't tag out.
Unfortunately, it's not the Raikou. It's a Spirit Reaper.
Okay. Huh. All right. Well, I'm going to end the battle then right away, and I'm going to go ahead and use Laquari's effect and put him back into the deck.
Yeah.
And, of course, you already know I have this card. I didn't see you pull one for yourself. Gladiator Beast, Murmello. Activating the effect to pop your Spirit Reaper.
Alright. That is the third dark.
Main phase 2, I will change Witch to defense. And I'm going to have to pass the turn.
Alright, here we go. That back row's kind of scary.
That's the one thing GB's got going for it, man. Back row can be real. Spells, traps, you name it.
But I think I'll be okay here. I'm going to go ahead and special summon another Cyber Dragon to the field.
Ooh, okay.
And then I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Garoth.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and go to battle here. So I'll have Garoth attack over Murmello.
All right, on declaration, I'm going to activate Wabaku. So that's an awesome battle phase for me. Once you end, well, tag out again.
All right, main phase 2.
Murmello effect. And I'm just going to go ahead and, yeah. I'm just going to bring out Laquari again and then use the effect to get 300 attack points.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and set 2 back row. And I'll pass.
All right, starting turn. Ooh, that's a pretty good draw. All right, standby phase. Anything?
No, you're good.
Okay, entering main phase 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and normal summon another GB, Gladiator Beast, Bestiary.
Yeah.
And now that the summon is successful, I'm going to contact fuse Bestiary and Laquari into the new Gladiator Beast, Gazirus.
Ooh.
And activate its effect to pop 2 cards on the field. And in this case, I'm targeting your 2 back row.
Damn, that is unfortunate. Alright, well, I have to... Man, I did not want to waste this on that, but that is too big to pass up.
That's unfortunate, man. Dang. Oh, well. Okay, yeah. Dang. Would have liked to pop 2 cards, but oh, well. That's kind of lame. All right, well, I'm going to set 1 and pass the turn.
Here
That's
we
a bummer.
go. Draw. I'm going to go ahead and blind MST.
Ooh, which one are you going to target?
I think I got to go with this one right here.
Oh, my body. Oh.
All right. I got to take the risk here and special summon Dad.
Oh, man. Well, you stopped my boss monster, so I have to stop yours. No way I can let that hit the field.
All right. Let's go to battle here. And I'll have Gareth go over the witch.
Man. Okay, let's see here. Witch goes to grave and effect to search. I'm just going to add Laquari to hand.
All right, and then we'll have Cyber Dragon get in for 21 direct.
Okay, I will have to book a moon to that. My life points are getting pretty low.
Okay, set. Main phase 2, I'm going to set a monster and pass.
All right, starting turn. Normal summon Laquari.
Yeah.
Enter the battle.
Yeah.
Attack your Cyber Dragon.
Oh, what a shame. I'll miss you.
End the battle. Laquari effect back to the deck. I know you got that Raikou set, and unfortunately, Murmello can only pop face-up monsters. But, well, either way, you're just going to Raikou me anyway, so I'm going to bring out the Murmello anyway, just so I don't take a lot of damage next turn. I'm going to pop the Gareth.
Hmm.
And I'll end my turn.
Go draw. Alright, here we go. I'll flip summon the Raikou, pop Murmillo, and mill 3. Jane, Reborn, and an Allure.
Ooh, Allure. Dang, your deck looks crazy.
And now I'm going to go ahead and summon DD Warrior Lady.
Okay.
And attack for 17k.
1700's good.
And I'll pass there.
All right, starting turn. Interesting. I think I have to do this. I'm going to activate Monster Reborn, and I'm going to target my Murmillo, special summon it in attack.
I'm going to go ahead and chain by discarding DD Crow.
Ooh, the DD Crow. Coming in clutch. Wow.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's kind of sad, but I do have another Glad. I'm going to normal summon Secutor.
Yeah.
Enter the battle. We're going to attack the Raikou. End of battle. We're going to put this back to the top of the deck. And, well, your Warrior Lady's going to basically out anything that I put out there. So, unfortunately, getting kind of low. I think I'm just going to go ahead and special summon Hoplimus from the deck. And his effect will give him 300 defense.
I guess he's 24.
After that, I'll set a card and pass. Yes, 2400 defense.
All right. Damn. This is rough.
What a crazy game one.
All right, I'm just going to have to take the damage here and have Warrior attack into Hip Hop Hippopotamus, banishing them both, and that'll give me 900 damage. And I have to pass there.
All right, starting turn. Passing turn.
All right, here we go. This will decide it all here. I'll summon Lumina.
Ooh, dang.
And I will discard a card to activate effect and summon Jane to the field.
Yep.
And enter battle. Lumina for 1k.
You got
Jane
it,
for
man.
Whew.
Oh, man. All right. Definitely not exactly what I thought you were going to bring, but it's pretty close to what I thought was possible. I'm just mad you got a Dark Arm, man. That's crazy.
Oh, man. Once I saw that, I knew I was okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right. I'm going to set a couple, and I'm going to pass.
All right. Draw. I'm going to start off with Rhoda.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and grab... I'm going to go ahead and grab a Jane.
Okay.
Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and activate a second Rhoda.
Alright, deck thinning.
And
winning.
grab DD Warrior Lady.
Okay.
Too big of a risk. Alright, I'll go ahead and special summon Cyber Dragon to the field.
Alright.
And normal summon Jane.
Oh, we're getting offensive.
And I'm going to go ahead and go to battle. Jane attacks, damage step, he gains 300 attack.
Alright, and that'll be my witch effect. So I will search for that. I think in this case I probably should just grab a Laquari.
Alright, and then Cyber Dragon for 21.
Alright.
Main phase 2, I will set 2 and pass. At the end phase, the effect of Jane activates and I have to mill 2.
Sounds good.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Not what I wanted to see.
That's what I wanted to see, I'll tell you what. Okay.
Oh, the cost of light swords.
Standby phase. Anything?
You're good.
All right. Main phase 1. I will go ahead and activate Giant Trunade.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. After that, gonna follow it up with a Dark Hole.
Ooh.
Normal summon Laquari,
Yeah.
and we're gonna poke for 18. Main phase 2, well, end of battle. We'll shuffle him back into the deck, grab ourselves a Hippo, use the Hippo's effect, get 300 defense, and then we will set 2 cards and pass.
All right, here we go. Draw. All right, I'm going to go ahead and summon Lumina to the field.
Okay.
And I will activate Lumina's effect to discard Allure of Darkness. And
All
special
right.
summon Jane to the field.
Well, I actually have a response to your target.
Ooh.
I don't have DD Crow, but I have Light Imprisoning Mirror.
Damn, that's one hell of a card here.
Yep, this both mirrors came out in these last couple packs, and yeah, they definitely have some relevance this episode. That's for sure.
I got it set too, and pass, but I won't have to
Okay.
mill, so I guess that's a plus.
All right, so couple things I could do, I guess. The only thing you really have left in hand is that DD Warrior Lady. I think I'm just gonna normal summon Sangan.
Yeah.
All right. The question is, am I afraid of Mirror Force? And I kind of am, but I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Sangan's gonna attack and crash.
Yeah, that is
All
good.
right. Never punish. That's right. Okay. After that, I think, what do I want to grab here? I think the smart thing to do is grab a GB just in case you have a response to this. The Hippo is going to attack.
I will activate Call the Haunted
Ooh, what are you targeting?
and revive Cyber Dragon.
Okay, that's good. No response to that. I guess I'll go directly to main phase 2.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think, and if you have a Solemn Judgment set, it could be all bad for me. So I think to be safe, I'm gonna activate Raigeki.
I gotta activate Solon to protect the.
There it
the
is.
dragon.
Okay.
Ah,
All right. That's cool with me.
damn. That goes scary.
Okay, well, since you did that, I'm just going to go ahead and normal summon Bestiary and contact Fuse away because I was afraid that, well, you were going to judgment my summon. But since you already activated it for me, contact Fuse into Gazirus and activate the effect to pop your 2 cards.
Damn. Half the life points for nothing.
Yep, and I'll set a card and pass.
Here we go. Draw. Damn it. I'm gonna take the risk here and pass.
Oh, okay. Ooh, all right. Well, unfortunately, that's a wrap. Unless you got like Karibo.
Yeah.
All right, Gazirus attacks.
Yeah, I gotta take it. I didn't want to risk losing the warrior lady, but
that's game, bud. Game 3.
All right.
An epic game 3.
I don't want to give you an attack, but I also need to protect myself, so I gotta take first.
It's true.
And Glad Beast or something else. All right.
Man, you got Dark Arm. I don't want to hear it.
Here we go. Opening draw. All right. I'm going to start off with Rhoda. And I'll add Jane to hand. Actually, I'll add Gareth to hand.
Okay.
And then I'll activate Graceful Charity.
Oh, yeah, I feel like a Lumina play is coming along.
2 and 3. So I'll discard Mystic Swordsman and Garoth. And now I'll normal summon Lumina.
Yep.
And I will discard DD Crow to activate Lumina effect and summon Garoth.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be 3 and then 2. Okay. And then I'll set 2 cards face down and go to the end phase. I'll mill 3 for Lumina, which activates the effect of Garoth, so I'll mill 2. And if any of them are Lightsworns, I will draw for them. Not what I wanted to see, but deck thinning.
Okay. True. Can never complain about that, I guess. All right, let me think about this. All right, I'm going to enter main phase 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to normal summon Gladiator Beast Bestiary.
Yeah, that's good.
Enter the battle phase.
Yeah.
And I will attempt to attack over your Lumina.
Man. I'm going to go ahead and activate Raigeki Break.
Okay.
And I'll discard Raigeki
Oh, wow. Raigeki, huh?
to pop the Bestiary.
Okay. Bestiary goes to grave. I guess I'll just set 2 cards in main phase 2, of course. And I'm going to have to pass.
Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Jane.
Ooh, I think you might regret that, Ricardo. Torrential Tribute.
I will have to activate Solemn Judgment.
And so will I.
Oh.
Man, Solemn is crazy this episode.
Oh, 4K, huh?
I'll definitely take a 2 for 4 any day of the week.
Man, I'm going to have to activate Monster Reborn.
Okay, what are you going to grab?
And I will revive Jane. So I'll go to battle here and attack directly for 18.
Sounds good.
And then at the end phase, I will mill 2.
All right.
Oof.
Oh, thank God. I'm not going to lie. I saw that dark, and I'm like, man, now he can just top deck Dark Arm at any time and win, but you milled the 4th dark, luckily.
Damn.
Okay. There was a lot of things I could draw this turn, and this was a pretty good one. It's not bad, that's for sure. Okay. I'm going to start off normal summon Mermello.
Yeah.
Monster Reborn Bestiary.
Oh.
Since I control a GB and a Bestiary, you know what's happening next?
Yeah.
Contact fused. Gazirus hits the field, and once again, I will pop your monster. We're going to enter the battle, and I'm going to poke directly for 2,400.
Yeah, that
Not
is
enough for
good.
game, unfortunately.
Damn.
I'm going to end the battle, and Gazirus has the effect now that I can put him back to the extra deck, and I can special summon any 2 GBs from my deck. In this case, I am going to special summon a Laquari, and I'm also going to special summon a Secutor to the field in defense. Laquari gains 300, and that's going to do it for me. Pass the turn.
Here we go. Damn, that Witch of the Black Forest hurt me. That is game.
Did you really top deck the See, man, your luck is so crazy good. I just knew you top deck it too. That would have been game. You would have just went Dark Arm, pop 2 for game. Get out of here, Ricardo. No luck for you today. Thank God you milled the fourth Dark. Man. Oh my God, that's crazy. You're so crazy lucky there. Okay, well, unlucky that you milled the fourth, but... I saw that Jinzo get milled, and I'm just like, crap. I already know what's going to happen. He's going to draw Dark Arm next turn.
Oh,
that's
man.
crazy. Crazy episode this week, man. I'm so upset you got a Dark Arm. Obviously, you can tell I don't have one because I'm playing GBs. How was your polls this week?
So Dark Armed was, obviously the highlight. I did not pull a Lone Fire, which really hurts.
Dang, you're all about the plant synchro, man.
So that wheel has to be very kind to me this week.
Hey, it's all right. I think, what is that? Like a 1 in 6 chance or something like that?
Yeah. As for Light of Destruction, I think I pulled every name except for Lila and Celestia. And Lila was the one I wanted. I pulled Double Raikou, which was really nice to get.
Double Raikou? Dang, that's awesome.
Double Raikou, double Lumina. I don't think I hit Wolf, which would have been cool, but I got lucky, but missing that Lone Fire really hurts going forward, especially heading into next week.
I guess the plant synchro stuff really isn't that much of a thing yet. I think we get some of the plant support like Titanial, and I think this episode we got, what's his name? Gigaplant.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's really a deck quite yet. But like you said, you might hit it on the wheel. I think there's like 1 or 2 slots for rare on the loser's wheel. I definitely know. My fingers are crossed, obviously, for secret rare so I can bag a Dark Arm. I did hit a secret this week, but it was one that, well, I really have no use for. I hit a Goblin Zombie, which is kind of sad because my zombie lineup is so pitiful, especially compared to yours. And I knew this week maybe that would be something you were shooting for. I don't know. Did you hit a Goblin Zombie or no?
No, I was really hoping for at least one, but
I guess on the Dark Arm will do.
Yeah, the wheel gave me another Zombie Master, but I'm still missing the Ill Blood. I'm missing the Goblin Zombie, so the zombies are an option, but they're not as good as they could be, which does hurt. And man, the Lone Fire, that really hurts.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to hit 2 Lone Fire, so not too bad.
I told myself I just need the one because eventually it just gets limited, but...
So, you saw for... Okay, I'll be honest. My Phantom Darkness, I really hit nothing. Okay, I hit a couple good cards. I hit an Armageddonite. That's pretty cool. Maybe I use that. I don't have Rhoda like you, so I can't really see it very often. I did pull an Allure of Darkness, which is pretty cool. If ever I'm on a dark deck, I guess it's pretty generic. The new addition to the deck, which there was a couple times where I really wanted to bring this out, I pulled a Darius from Phantom of Darkness. This is a common, so it's very easy, but this is really amazing at setting up Gazirus plays because all I need to do is get Bestiary in the grave, and he's essentially a monster reborn when you tag out. So it negates the effects, but essentially if Bestiary is in the grave via Charity, Painful Choice, or if it just died by battle or whatever, then I could bring it back, and then it's an instant contact fuse. So very good card. It's a 17 beater. Glad I have that. I also got Proving Ground. I played 2 of that this week. It's just a Rhoda for the deck. I didn't want too many GBs in the deck, and I was actually very nervous at the start of this game because I opened 3 GBs and a Proving Ground and Torrential Tribute. So my hand was very clunky with monsters, but I drew the Judgment, so I'm like, okay, at least I know I could get this Torrential through if he normal summons. So I think that's kind of what won me this game.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you already saw as well the new boss monster for my deck. Probably the scariest card that the GBs have access to, if we're completely honest. The Gladiator Beast, Gazirus. This card's insane. On summon, popping 2 cards. It can happen at any time. We don't have Prisma, so it's not like I can like do this first turn. I'd have to open like pretty crazy to be able to do it first turn, but this card is like a powerhouse. And I actually opened 2 of them this week.
Ooh.
So it almost came up that other game when you judgmented the first one. So I'm actually very glad that I have this because you have 2 Solemn Judgments, so that's very relevant. The main thing I got off the wheels this week that's actually important is the Herc for the extra deck. So that worked out pretty good. This one's kind of hard for me to summon, especially again without like Prisma and like different ways to just kind of bring out my monsters all at once. But it's still an extra deck option, I guess. This deck really doesn't need the extra deck, but you know, it always definitely helps to have the options.
Yeah, it's interesting because I looked up deck lists from this period of time, and we have a lot of the really big stuff, but we're also missing a lot of the really small stuff, like Card Troopers missing, all the heroes that are pretty much essential at this point in time are missing. So it's kind of hard to predict what I'm gonna see when I'm playing you, because it's like, yeah, you have a lot of staples, but it's like, but you're missing the staples that we just don't have access to. So man, I would love a Card Trooper, like I love that card.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Don't forget, we get that starter deck, so my Ace Monster Junk Synchron guaranteed to come home.
That's right. We don't really have a character starter deck for the 5Ds era. So to kick things off, we're going to have the first starter deck of the new game mechanic. That way we both get a couple of decent cards, and it really just starts the Synchro era off right. I think there's the Gaia as a 6, which is a 26 beater, and Colossal Fighter, which is an amazing level 8. So that's awesome. Plus, you already know your favorite Junk Warrior.
Yeah. He's coming home, baby.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in this week. This episode was intense. I'm really looking forward to the next episode, as I'm sure you guys are too. I'm hoping to see you guys next time. Peace.